I'll tell you one thing. If Walmart can nail for a third-party seller the opportunity to be successful on marketplace and be successful in the physical retail store, no one's going to be able to touch that, right? Not even
Yeah.
TikTok, not even Amazon. And I'm really interested to see if they can pull that off and find a way to create an onboarding for brands that want to be on Walmart Marketplace, but then figure out which brands are going to be the right fit
Yeah.
for physical retail. I mean, imagine if they can do that. I mean, how attractive would that be for a brand if you can get onto.
Oh, what is the general sentiment that sellers have and brands have towards Walmart right now?
What's so interesting when we think about Walmart and you talk to brands, certain brands are just completely anti-Walmart.
Mm.
And for me, it takes me back to maybe 15 years ago, where the same sentiment can be said for almost every brand on Amazon. I, in fact, had the same feelings. I was one of the early sellers in 2003 on Amazon. Amazon at that time was just selling books pretty much. There was a little tab with Toys R Us. And in fact, there was a Target tab. Can you believe that? There was a Target Toys R Us tab. And you can imagine no brand would want to touch Amazon.com at that time. And that was years and years ago. But e-commerce is a journey. So when you think about the Walmart um, relationship with brands, I think we're generally seeing a shift and we're seeing gradual change. I think the biggest thing that we hear on the negative side is the Walmart shopper isn't the shopper that we want to target.
Mm.
And I think just these recent earnings report, right? The recent earnings report with 26% growth, nearly 50% on Walmart Marketplace, the shopper mix is changing.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's just a matter of time before we see the Walmart shopper becoming more kind of representative, very
Mm.
similar to Amazon.
What's the time horizon for that, you think? Because I think that's been a good conversation for a while now on Walmart's customer base changing and growing over time. I'm curious what your thoughts are on, like, when do you think that'll fully develop?
When you look at the Walmart results and you look at the headline around Walmart Connect, 44% growth, excluding the Vizio deal, it's pretty impressive, right?
Yeah.
And I think with advertising, it has to be connected with brands by
Mm.
definition, right? Because you're selling reach and you're selling opportunity. And so to me, I think the Walmart Connect performance is the biggest leading indicator that Walmart e-commerce buyers are changing.
Mm.
And I think the Vizio deal, and they've been really smart about this, as you know, Walmart acquired Vizio, and that allows Walmart to get in the homes
Mm.
on these premium devices of literally millions of households, very, very similar to the Amazon Fire TV play. And so to me, these are the moves that Walmart's playing the long game. And it's a game around true branding. And I just think it's a matter of time but before we see that shift in sentiment. Walmart no longer being synonymous with discounts, lower end retail shoppers, especially on the online side. So um, I think it's changing. Every quarter it's
Mm.
getting stronger. I think the mix is shifting.
We tend to tie our conversations back to other conversations and other episodes that we've had. I think about when we were talking about would some like Amazon's moat. I think about us talking about Amazon's moat, how their moat is 2 day delivery, and that's a side note. Walmart having some points I think that to help develop their own moat. But the question I think of is someone tied to just buy on Amazon because of that 2 day shipping, or if you can buy the same product on Walmart for $15 cheaper, then are they just going to go to buy on Walmart? I bought a trash can off of shopping on Walmart because it was like way cheaper to do that on Walmart than it was on Amazon, and I was
Yeah.
surprised.
there's not just one place, right?
Right.
And I think we're seeing more and more selection. Walmart's running that play, selection.
Mm,
And once you get selection and once you get advertising and Walmart Connect growth at 44%, you start to get the dynamics that are going to create the shift. And you get, consumers, comfortable with buying one successful product, and then you get that kind of flywheel that Walmart's looking for, which is exactly what we saw with Amazon, 20 plus years ago. I think the other thing to point out with Walmart that's incredibly unique is the relationship between obviously the e-commerce and the physical retail. Amazon, can't touch that.
right.
And so I think Walmart's got a really huge advantage there. And I think when we talk to brands, the brands that are wanting to get into the retail store and online at the same time, the more Walmart can connect those dots, that changes the game entirely, right? And I think
Absolutely.
from a marketplace standpoint, we haven't really seen Walmart nail that.
No.
I think if Walmart can nail that and can present to a third party brand, if you come onto Walmart.com as a marketplace seller and we can get you into the physical retail store as well, to me, that would be the game changer, right? That would be the
It's
tipping
huge.
because no one can touch Walmart in terms of physical retail in the United States.
Yeah,
I don't think
it's
they've
huge.
they've gone hard enough there personally.
I agree.
I still feel, the results that you see, the headlines, 26% growth on Walmart.com e-commerce, nearly 50% on marketplace. Those are all really strong headlines in the earnings calls, but from a brand offering,
Hmm.
what I want to see Walmart do is truly connect the dots and offer something that really no one can. TikTok can't offer it, Amazon can't offer it. Walmart is the only platform in the United States that can offer that physical footprint, retail locations, and marketplace. I think that would be the watershed moment when you start to see brands really come online.
If I'm a brand and I see a clear path to launch first, maybe online in e-commerce, and then make my way into physical retail, and Walmart's the path to that, that's a huge, huge selling point. Do you think, and I'm surprised as well that they haven't really embraced that as much. Do you think that them establishing that bridge between online and physical retail, do you think that's inevitable?
It's a shift, right? I mean, if you think about the scale of the Walmart retail buyers, in terms of the physical retail store, and then you think about what it takes to build a huge multi-billion marketplace. Um, there's a lot of different dynamics.
Yeah.
And so, we're working closely with Walmart on some of these things. One of the biggest challenges is trying to get huge selection onto Walmart, make sure that the
Mm,
listing are correct, make sure that the brands are legit. That's big for them. It's a big challenge. Like you want to open up the floodgates and get as many brands on as possible, but you don't want bad actors. You want delivery times.
right.
And then to think about how do you promise to those brands that are winning on marketplace that you can get them into the retail store. I think Walmart's in its early innings of just needing to get brands on its marketplace smoothly.
Yeah.
But if they can nail that and then connect and layer on physical retail, if they layer on Vizio, which is obviously their big investment in, competing with Amazon Fire TV and getting in the home, and maybe there's another acquisition, right? Like everyone's trying to get access to the consumer through multiple touch points.
Right.
I think Walmart has the possibility of being the best because of that physical retail footprint. And I think the Vizio acquisition just shows how committed they are to be
Mm.
everywhere, right? And
I,
and and just to kind of completely, be everywhere that you want to be as a consumer.
I'm going to ask you about implications for Vizio. One last thing I think is worth pointing out is a lot of our conversations on this show tend to involve seeds planted for the future, thinking about um, actions you can take now that will pay off in the not so distant future. I think this is not the only case for Walmart. A big one, though, is thinking about the connection to physical retail and getting into and investing in Walmart now to be available and to make yourself ready on the platform for when that connection, when that bridge is built. I think that's a great selling point as a brand today. Of course, again, that's not the only selling point, but it's something that I don't think a lot of people think about as they think about investing in Walmart.
E-commerce has changed significantly over the last 3 to 4 years, certainly since we saw the huge volume in COVID. And, brands are squeezed on margins. They're trying to build true brands like lifetime value. That's why you're seeing so many um, repeat purchase products,
Mm,
beauty products, food products, health related products. I think that's where the categories that we see in our data at Teikametrics winning. And so if you think about how important it is for those brands to get in front of retail buyers, physical retail, ironically, it's almost going full circle and
yeah,
going from online to offline, but it's all about omnichannel, right?
yeah.
The multiple channels. So yes, I agree with you. I think the brands that are thinking about omnichannel, physical, digital, multi touch points
Mm.
really going to be the ones that win.
Let me ask you one more thing about Vizio, the Walmart acquisition of Vizio. What are the implications for that as brand owners? What does that lead to?
It's really interesting, right? It's a big bet for Walmart, multi-billion dollar acquisition. It's very you can see the strategy, looks similar to Amazon Fire TV. You're ultimately getting all of this new inventory. You're closing the loop on these connected TVs, these smart TVs. It'll be really interesting to see what they do.
Mm.
Walmart Connect business up 44%, excluding Vizio. So you add Vizio on there. I'm really interested to see what Walmart could do around content, right? I think they did the partnership with Paramount, if I remember correctly. What's Walmart's play and how far do they go beyond Vizio? I mean, if you
Right.
think about Amazon, it's got Alexa, it's got Prime Video, it's got Amazon Music,
It's got Thursday Night Football.
it's got Thursday Night Football. It's going to be really interesting. I mean, knowing the leadership team, what I know of Walmart's leadership team, and especially the Connect team, I think they're going to run that same play. I
Yeah.
think Vizio is the first innings of a very ambitious strategy to become the digital platform that's in the home. And I think Walmart's got a really good opportunity there because of how dominant they are. Of course, they're so omnipresent in terms of physical retail. Why can't they do the same with respect to all of those other home devices? And I think the
Mm.
Vizio example is just, a great example of how big they are thinking. And it seems to be paying off. I mean, look at the results. 44% without the Vizio deal for Walmart Connect, 26% on e-commerce, nearly 50% on marketplace. I'll tell you one thing. If Walmart can nail for a third-party seller the opportunity to be successful on marketplace and be successful in the physical retail store, no one's going to be able to touch that, right? Not even
Yeah.
TikTok, not even Amazon. And I'm really interested to see if they can pull that off and find a way to create an onboarding for brands that want to be on Walmart Marketplace, but then figure out which brands are going to be the right fit
Yeah.
for physical retail. I mean, imagine if they can do that. I mean, how attractive would that be for a brand if you can get onto
Oh,
both? I think that would be game changing.
incredible. And from a customer standpoint, it just brings really good products into the physical store. And customers are going to love that. I think customers will love seeing more and more products like that that they can find online. I think that's just a win-win all around, and it creates a moat that's untouchable. Truly, I think that's a
It,
great spot to kind of leave this conversation.
it really is. Yeah, thanks a lot, Cameron.
Yeah, thanks, Alistair. Looking forward to more conversations in the future.